great to know the Indians of the 1990s still live, or at least live on the MLB network. And they have a documentary, the Almost Dynasty. And I'm not mentioning it simply because I was one of the many people that they interviewed, but I'm bringing it up because, well, first of all, I love the Indians of the 90s. Tom Hamilton and I did a book on the Indians of the 90s called Glory Days. Okay, that's the cheap plug, but I threw it in there. The second thing is, in this documentary, they have John Hart. They're talking to him. Of course, they're trying to get Albert Belle. I remember they talked to me. Do you think we can get Albert Belle? How are we going to get Albert Belle? I said, good luck with that. Even though they were taping many of the segments in Phoenix, Albert lives in Phoenix. Well, the best they could do was get Albert to basically do a voicemail where he blamed John Hart for the Indians not winning the World Series. Oh boy. I mean, sometimes Albert is just exhausting as a person. One of the reasons Albert Belle left the Indians after the 1996 season is he wanted to be the highest paid player in baseball. He didn't care where it was. And basically, the Indians were tired of him. He was tired of them. He went to the White Sox. He got to be the highest paid player in baseball. In fact, he had a thing in his contract with the White Sox that for several years he had to be among the top 3 highest paid players. Albert got his money, but he never came anywhere close to the playoffs after he left the Indians following the 96 season. And Albert conveniently forgets that in 1997, the Indians went to the 7th game of the World Series and lost, and we all know how that happened. To me, I was talking once to Albert's brother, Terry Belle, and Terry used to call me his twin brother, and I like Terry quite a bit. And I just said to Terry one time, your brother makes it so hard on himself because of all these little battles and grudges he carries. And he was trying to explain how Albert sees things. And sometimes we didn't see things as clearly as Albert does, and other times it was clear that Albert was way too sensitive. But for example, he wants the Indians to like him, but yet they offered him 3 or 4 different dates where they were trying to retire his number. And I'm trying to put him into the Hall of Fame. He wouldn't oblige them by coming in, yet he's calling his friends with the Indians, asking them, well, what does the plaque look like? Are the people cheering up there? It's like, Albert, I don't know if he's afraid of being booed or what. Anybody who has anything remotely to do with the Indians of the 90s comes in here and gets standing ovations. They love those players. Albert missed that chance to come in here to do that. And I guess it's one of those. I just wish Albert, frankly, before he dies, would soften his heart towards the one franchise that really loved him. Because, Albert, you later played for the White Sox, and you played for the Orioles, and truthfully, those teams don't care much about you. The only team that does is the Indians, and, you should embrace that.